Professor came out and told me, he says, Francois, everyone really loved your demo class, but I'm sorry, they want the white guy. I'm not embarrassed of this moment, but I didn't handle the situation as best as I could. In fact, I live more comfortably here and not in fear of racism than I did in the United States. Recently, a lot of people have been asking me if Korea is racist or not. I'm of the impression that no matter where you go, there's always going to be some form of racism, especially in your home country. Actually, I'm on my way to the airport now, so let's talk about this topic as I try to make my flight. Hopefully, I'll get there on time. Oh my God, guys, so I left something at home, so now I'm in a taxi heading to the airport. This is gonna be super expensive, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yo, that taxi driver was super nice. Oh my goodness. Made it to the airport. Hopefully can get my ticket and then we can get to the topic. Okay, I need to go to B. Actually, I was thinking like maybe I should do a different video since I'm at the airport and I always have like a really wonderful time just walking around and exploring the airport. But I was thinking like, yo, the airport scene could actually fit into the video because like just look at all of the happy travelers who are leaving Korea. They have smiles on their faces and a lot of these travelers are from different countries. So if they have smiles on their faces, then it probably begs to say that they enjoyed their time here in Korea. I guess I should really start this vlog by saying the term racism, I don't really believe in racism, but for all intents and purposes, I can use racism for this video because it's something that's easy for everyone to understand, being that they're probably familiar with the terminology. Look at that cool view of everyone just walking around. Man, I love the airport. I know it's Korea, but my bags are right there. Just making sure because this is the airport. Never know who's lurking around those corners. I guess we should start by like finding out what exactly is racism. So like, what is your definition of racism? My definition of racism is being able to prevent a person from moving up in life by using nefarious methods such as various forms of discrimination, including physical, psychological, verbal abuse. Talking about my experiences here in Korea, have I been discriminated against? I think yes, I have, but was there like a nefarious, kind of harmful intent behind the discrimination? I don't think so. I think the discrimination was more of based from like xenophobia, like, I'm not familiar with this type of human, so let me like keep him away from me. When I was discriminated, when I felt discriminated, I didn't feel as if, a person was trying to, or a company was trying to like prevent me from moving up in life, prevent me from just enjoying my life here in Korea. Okay, so last time I'm gonna have fast food in a while, so got to fill up on some Taco Bell. We got the burrito, we got the soft taco, we got the fries, we got the chips, got the cider or Sprite. Yo, this is gonna be a great last meal. Do a video about Incheon airport because they got like this nice baby room over here, and this airport is just crazy good. Like this is definitely the best airport that I've ever traveled or used to travel in my entire traveling career. Like really well laid out. It's spacious. On a Tuesday, there aren't so many people around, so it's really nice. As a Black American, as you can all see, in America, I didn't really feel racism so much as I saw it broadcasted on television. I think that's probably because I only hung out with mainly African Americans and a couple of Asians. Yeah, I was saying how I didn't really experience racism as much as I could see it on television or hear about it in the news or hearsay from other people. But there's definitely racism in the United States. I mean, everyone can see it. There are some very I guess, benign kind of racism, like racism based on people not knowing how to interact with different ethnicities. And then there's also like nefarious, pernicious kind of racism where the intent is to harm other people based on their skin color or their religious background, or I guess, even their gender or sexual preference. And the only example of like a kind of racism that I could give from America, from my personal experience, would be when I said the woman called me a cotton picker when I was working at the supermarket. She asked for a can of beans. I told her where to go. It was the wrong aisle. Her displeasure, dissatisfaction with me being wrong made her call me a cotton picker. And I don't know if that's racism or not. Maybe it's some form of discrimination, but definitely she didn't have any kind of like harm behind it. I don't think. It's just, or maybe she did. Maybe that could be a form of racism, because maybe she wanted to hurt me with those words. It could have been, or it could have been like words that just, popped out. Don't forget, there's racism everywhere in the world. Racism doesn't just exist in the United States. It's all over the world. For Americans, especially Black Americans, who are most of the commenters on my videos, to tell me that, they're scared of coming to Korea because there's racism. In the United States, you have to deal with it a lot more often than you probably would have to deal with it here, because Korea is just opening up, and even though they've had Black people or African descent people here before in the past, it wasn't in like large numbers, not as it is now. So look at how those airplanes are just lined up. I was gonna say, look at how those airlines are lined up. Look at how those airplanes are lined up. Looks so gorgeous. Hey, let me hurry up and get to the point, because my plane is about to start boarding. And sorry about my hat. I just have to get this new hat for the country where I'm going. It's a surprise until the video comes out. One of the jobs that I applied to and actually got maybe attempted to discriminate against me, but I don't think it was a bad kind of discrimination. I think it was a discrimination based on not xenophobia, but just like ignorance, not knowing or not having any kind of interaction with an African American before in the past. One job I went to, I found this job all on my own, and it's something that I'm very, very proud of, because a lot of foreigners, they use like recruiters and like go-betweens to find jobs, but like I have been able to find a lot of my jobs, or two of my jobs, here in Korea on my own, and I'm African American, so that should speak volumes in and of itself. But anyways, I digress. When I applied for the job, I went in for the demo class. I did the demo class, and all of the teachers who were evaluating me, they liked it. A professor came out and told me, he says, "Francois, everyone really, really loved your demo class, but I'm sorry, they want the white guy." So my first impression is like, okay, I've never had anyone to like come out and blatantly tell me that I don't qualify for a job because of my skin color. I mean, maybe in the past in the United States or in France, maybe I felt it more than I could actually, see it close up. But yeah, it was my first time to know that a job didn't want to take me because of my skin color. The teacher told me, yeah, Francois, they want the white guy. So I'm like, okay, what else can I do? I can't change my skin color. I guess what I'm gonna have to do is like just get up and look for another job, because even though I faced some kind of discrimination, I wasn't gonna let that hold me back. Like, I've come way too far in my life to let someone not liking my skin color prevent me from moving any further. Like, maybe at that time I was a little disappointed, but it wasn't gonna stop me. I wasn't like, oh my God, these people don't like me because, I'm not white. I'm gonna just go home and cry or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that that's not something that a person can't do, because everyone is entitled to feel, how they want to feel. As a Black person living in Korea, having lived here for more than 13 years, there is nothing as far as racism is concerned that prevents me from doing what I need to do in life to move on to the next level, to succeed, to move on to other opportunities in life. So I'm hoping that a lot of other African Americans or people of African descent like see this video and understand that, you know, you might hear on television or in the news or in social media that Korea is racist, but I don't know if that's legit or not. Now, maybe this is different from people from Europe or from Southeast Asia or other places around the world, but me as a Black American, I don't feel as if there is any kind of, you know, nefarious racism that prevents me from living very comfortably in this country. In fact, I live more comfortably here and not in fear of racism than I did in the United States. How you guys liking my hat? Looks good? Maybe it's a little too big, but that's why I have this little rope, or yeah, this little rope thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Korea is it's free of racism or, you know, nefarious types of discrimination, because it exists everywhere. But what I'm saying is that you shouldn't be afraid to come to Korea because you think you're going to experience that on a daily basis, or an experience of racism or discrimination, nefarious discrimination, would prevent you from having or enjoying your time here in Korea. If you're going to go through life and being in fear of racism or being in fear of something, you're going to miss so many opportunities to improve yourself or to see the world or to open your life to, you know, many different possibilities. I have a lot of subscribers from Mongolia. I don't know why Mongolians like me, but I do have a lot of subscribers from Mongolia. All the videos that I've done on Mongolia and Korea, I have never had a racist comment from Koreans in my videos. Never, never, never. However, I have had racist comments from Mongolians, and some Mongolians are telling me, hey, you know, monkey, get out of my country, or, you know, black N-word, you know, go back to Africa or go back to your home. You know, I just look at those comments and I'm just like, whatever, who cares? Like, you know, you guys are keyboard warriors or internet trolls or whatever, but, you know, it's just like, yeah, I've experienced, I guess, racism or nefarious discrimination from other people, but here in Korea, I have never experienced that before. Again, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm just giving you my experience only. Daehakyo.
School.
Yeah, school.
학교.
Daehakyo. You know, hakyo. Yeah.
University.
University. Oh, look at that. Like, there's a guy from Kazakhstan that just walked up to me and, oh yeah, time to go. Oh, my plane is boarding. But yeah, there's a guy from Kazakhstan who just walked up and talked to me like out of nowhere. So yeah, and we're still here in Korea. And he looked very happy. And he was speaking Korean. Like, yeah. Anyways, let me get on the plane. We're about to take off. This is like my favorite part of flying. Look what it says. The first one is what? Almost there. And this is why I love flying Asiana Airlines. There's always a workout video for you to follow. Yo, look at all the people. Okay, so we finally made it to our destination. Everything is in Russian. All right, guys, so finally made it to the room, and here are messed up beds. Okay, so do you remember at the beginning of the video when I mentioned how, you know, if you're going to be worried about racism, then it's going to prevent you from experiencing a lot of fun and cool things in life that can probably propel you to the next level. So I'll give you a really big example from my life that I kind of tried to like suppress, because I'm not embarrassed of this moment, but I didn't handle the situation as best as I could, and I reacted to the situation out of fear instead of reacting out of logic and reason. So I was dating this Korean girl, and we were dating for like a year and a half, and I really liked her. I guess I could say I loved her, and the feeling was mutual because, you know, we would always be together and we would fight sometimes, but even though we fight, we'd always like find a way to like work things out. You know, there's like cultural differences, language barriers, things like that. Her older sister, my girlfriend at the time, who she really looked up to, her sister kept sending her like memes and these funny like I guess like video clips or photos of like black people doing like stuff, or Asian people eating hamburgers and turning into black people and things like that. One time the older sister referred to me as, oh, you're gonna go to that Negro's house. You're always going to that Negro's house. He's a Negro. And I was like, you know, Negro isn't a bad word, but why are you using it in a derogatory fashion? Like, it just made me think like, dang, if the sister is like this, then what about the parents? I already dated a Korean girl whose father like really didn't like me. And the Korean girl, she would never hesitate to remind me that, oh, my father doesn't like you. And I'm like, why doesn't your father like me? It's like, your father, or my father doesn't like you because you're a foreigner and because you're black. And I'm just thinking like, why do you, keep telling me this? Like, you telling me this doesn't make me feel, secure in the relationship. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. So, that experience was like always in my mind when I was dating the other girl. So because I was like scared of racism or being treated badly, I ended up breaking up with my girlfriend, and I blamed it on other reasons instead of like talking to her about it and finding a way that we could work through it. Anyways, I just want to say, like, if you're thinking about coming to Korea to visit or to live and you're worried about Koreans being racist, like, don't. There's always some people with nefarious intent in every country you go to. There's always gonna be that, no matter where. Guys, so that's it. I'm gonna go and enjoy my trip. I've arrived very well where I am, and some travel videos are coming up soon, so stay tuned for those. And as always, I love you, stay hydrated. See you in the next one. Take care. Peace.